All right, y'all. Let's talk about that money, baby. Money, baby. Money, baby. Yeah. We're gonna look at some hidden. Cause when I went out with my wife a little bit ago, we looking at the bill. They got all these other gratuities and hidden fees, and I was kind of glad to see this covered on the Isaiah Factor. Um, about this is in Houston. I live in Georgetown. About all these hidden fees they keep adding to these restaurant bills. I'm gonna let them go. Then I'm gonna come in with my little 2 cents.
Welcome and thank you for joining us for the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. For some, a relaxing night out in Houston and other parts of the country, starting to feel a lot more like a stress test. Diners are pushing back against restaurants that are slapping surprise fees on their bills and putting strict timers on their tables. Customers say they are absolutely done.
Real quick, that's another thing. Shit, you already got the upcharge of the food. They upcharging you from the time you walk in. Then they want to slap on their own gratuity and additional gratuity, and then after all of that, they want to rush you eating and shit. So yeah, it's definitely something I've dealt with.
Top dollar just to be nickeled and dimed and chased off the premises. Tonight, we're digging into the growing backlash over these dining rules. Are some restaurants doing too damn much? We want to remind you that you can weigh in and text us at the number below, 713-581-9914. Joining us to talk about it, we have Tanisha Mitchell, the owner of Valon Consulting. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. Food blogger Ryan Woods and podcast hosts Quincy Guidry and Adam Nelson. So Quincy, first let's begin with you. Are you being nickeled and dimed? And is there a clock ticking when you sit at that table?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you go a lot of these places, they give you a 2-hour limit. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
Well, how much time do you want?
Well, first of all, depending, right? Why is there a time limit? Then you have to think about, okay.
Wait. It ain't supposed to be my service.
But
It ain't supposed to be my service. Go ahead.
He want to report
service. You need to come bring me some water. You know what I mean? If I ask for any other drinks, and then they're not circling around and making their rounds,
right?
I gotta wait for my food, depending on how many people are there. Like it's erroneous. And pretty much,
I think what he's describing is the customer service that already dropped because just people, whatever it is, they're up on top of their customer service. They're not coming around and checking on you, making sure your drink is refreshed and all that. You basically gotta, find the waiters a lot of time on your own. You know what I'm saying? And then they expect the tip. The tip now, it used to be something extra, an extra show of appreciation. Now it's expected and even included. And so if it's expected, then fucking the waiters and shit, they don't feel like they really have to earn it in most places. They be rude and uncourteous. It'd be wild.
It's irrelevant in some cases because we're paying these astronomical prices. You got gratuity added to the tab. You have a service charge added to the tab. You have a liquor tax added to the tab. And then ask me for a tip on top of it. Man, I had a whole instance of where I had to literally get up and get my own water at a spot right here out for.
And they still wanted a tip.
It wasn't Luby's though, right?
No, I wasn't Luby's. It wasn't Luby's. This is supposed to be a place. Now I go for the eye candy. Don't get me wrong. But sweetheart, you're not that cute. I need you to bring me some water. I asked you 2 times already. I just got up and went and got my own water.
All right, Tanisha, your thoughts about this?
The reason that the time limit is on the tables is to offer a rotation so that if it's a high volume restaurant, so that everybody can fit into the restaurant at that time. And then it's also to flip so the restaurant can make money. Some people sit there too long, they're not buying anything else. So we flip it to make more money at the table.
So she here to offer the back. The other side. See here to defend them. Let's see.
What you mean? Right. I've been sitting here. I came for him now.
Ain't nobody there because you sitting in that damn table all night.
Well, also the customer service is not always top tier for you to add gratuity. Like I used to be a server, and I feel like I time people when I get to the table. Even if you're busy, hey, give me a second. I'ma serve you. We walking back and forth, and I'm like, okay. I've left restaurants because of that because I'm big on customer service. I'd rather go to Chick-fil-A. You get treated better at Chick.
that's another thing about the customer service being poor. Even if you can't get right over to somebody's table, make eye contact with them. Say, I'll be with you in a second. Y'all have a good night. I got you, but I'm on the way. So many times I hate going out and to a bar or something, and the waiter or the bartender, they busy, I'm sure, but they can at least acknowledge that you're standing there. They just walk past you 3-4 times like you're not even there. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even see you because they trying to ignore you and shit like this. So that's another thing. Like, okay, this bitch gonna ask for a tip at the end of the night, but she didn't act like she couldn't see me for the past 10 minutes because she don't want me to bother. So if I walk over and tap on the shoulder, then I'm wrong. You know, sometimes the small things, all you got to do is acknowledge that I see you there, or I see you waiting on your drink. I see your table waiting. I'll be right there. I'm on the way, and that'll keep everything cool instead of pretending like that's not your table and you don't have to acknowledge the customer.
For in the sit down restaurants nowadays.
I agree with you.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. Like most restaurants that I've been with in that, that area that we talking about, third world area, there's nobody there working. I sat at the bar one day at the bar. Literally 20 minutes before I got served.
The waitress is smoking hookah.
Right. That's
There be nobody there working in the bar.
It's y'all's responsibility to know what y'all's rights are when it comes to gratuity and service charge, because they are very different things. You know, a service charge is something that is put onto the customer from the establishment's point of view. A gratuity is something that's put on where you can determine who you want to give it to and how much you want to give. And you can take gratuity off. You can request for gratuity to be taken off.
That's already they put that plus tax.
But you gotta know, is it labeled on the ticket as gratuity
20%.
or is it labeled as a service charge? You have to know what the difference is. When they put it on as a service charge, then becomes a part of the service where you have to pay it. If they do not have it labeled right.
A receipt from an Atlanta restaurant where it was a service charge, but they said if you want it removed, let us know.
Correct.
Restaurants in Houston is not doing that.
Yeah, and then that's a little slick, Bo, because shit, if they put it on there, let's say you out on a date or you in a large party, you're not gonna want to go and bicker about the bill to get them to take it off. So they put it on there knowing that most people aren't going to arm wrestle with it. Once it's on their bill, they just go ahead and pay it. They may not add an additional tip, but they usually just don't hassle. I have in the past, when the service was bad, I went up to the manager and say, look, I'm not tipping and I want this gratuity taken off as well. I'm going to pay for my food, but I'm not giving any additional gratitude, attaboy, good job to the service staff because they was rude, they was unattentive, and it seemed like they was bothered every time we asked for something. So, you know what I'm saying? In that case, I rarely don't tip, but it's out of my heart to tip, out of the generosity of my heart to tip. It's not expected. And the one over here, the third one, or the second one from the right mentioned, second one from the left mentioned, that the company puts that on the customer, the service charge. They put that on the customer. I think the company should be held to the standard of paying their employees minimum wage, which they aren't, instead of passing the buck down to the customer to essentially pay their employees. That's what all that extra service charge and gratuity is the company is getting away with not paying the waiters and the waitresses and passing on the responsibility to essentially pay out the service people to the customer. That's why they have service charges and all these other fees that they add. It's their way to have you paying the worker instead of them paying out of their end.
That happened to me. Actually, I asked for it to be removed. I can't tell you. But actually, they removed it. So the thing is, I think it's a business. I understand the business side of it. At the same time, people are unaware that they can ask for it to be removed. You know what I'm saying? Because them service charges, those credit card processing fees, the bartender saying, well, you know what, I don't get a tip, so tip me, even though that's not real, you know what I'm saying?
But it does not disclose to you. If they don't post it when you walk in, it's not on a menu, you do not know that it's being passed on to you, then they cannot make you pay it.
Right.
Oh no.
It has to. It has to.
But
Do you think that will work at all restaurants?
Oh, no, they
What's
become-
the
It's not going to
reality?
work at all restaurants, but
yeah.
restaurant owners also have to know that sometimes forcing someone to pay the extra $20 that you're going to receive is not worth the backlash of a bad review. It's not worth a non-returning guest. Like you want to create repeat guests. So
I've seen some bad
sometimes.
restaurants.
Yeah, I
where they
think in
just
Houston
don't
though,
get
it's a
that.
lot of restaurants that
They're
are just
like, if you want to leave, leave. You know.
see you.
And then you have restaurants that are closing every day.
Literally
that are
because of
opening
that.
because of that.
Yeah,
But, and
absolutely.
then I've seen a fee where if the party is over 6 people, they charge $5 per person.
Right.
Because the party, and you have to pay.
Split the check.
Yeah.
You can't split the
You
check.
can't
There you go. I was just about to get into that too. You know, it's also a hassle to go out in a big group, family birthday party. You might be 10, 15, 20 people. And then they come over and say everybody got to pay one check. You can't get, hey, me and my wife is on check. My cousin them is on a different check. Everybody got to pay one check. So 20 people got to figure out, right, who gonna pay. Sometimes one person pays and then everybody pays them back. Cash after. It creates a whole nother hassle just because they don't want to be bothered with breaking the tickets up like they used to. So then, now you're thinking, they're making all these policies to make their job easier, what they need a tip for. They're not doing no work. They're not doing no work. They're not even breaking up tickets like they used to. So all the work and all the tip and all the charges are passed on to you as the customer. And then they got the nerve to still want extra gratuity and extra additional tip added to the shit. Yeah, they be. I don't go out as much as I used to because they started to enact things like that here in Austin. This is from Houston. They talking about Houston, but you know, in larger cities, they started to enact stuff like that. I stopped. It took my appetite for wanting to go out as much, especially since I went out one place and it was about 20 of us. We had to come up with we all had the money, but it's a hassle to have one person doesn't have it probably on their credit card or on their card to pay the bill and then wait for everybody to pay them back and all that shit. It's a hassle. They should be able to break it up, and they don't. So they don't make it convenient for the customer. The customer always right don't exist no more.
They let you split check.
Right.
So I gotta pay for what you ate and what everybody ate. I didn't have that
Plus
much money.
tax and everything else.
And I never even had that.
I don't feel like it's the service responsibility to split a check. If you want to go, first of all, why are you going out with 20, 30 people to eat? That's worse.
No, we talking about small, like,
Okay, kick her ass out because she is obviously a restaurant owner. She's defending all these practices. But yes, people do go out 5, 10, 15. You want people to come to your restaurant to celebrate graduations, birthdays, and stuff. You know, lately we've been doing most of that shit in house. But you know what I'm saying? You go out sometimes, you go out deep, and so yes, they should take it upon themselves to break the ticket up however it needs to be broken up.
A dinner for.
That's too me. A dinner for is an easy split. You're eating out with 20, 30 people. I don't think it's the
But if she got an appetizer, 3 lemon drops, a shot of Don Julio, that's $100 right there. I just got a little.
Y'all figure out how to split that. They have enough apps that y'all can get that y'all can split that without having to put it back on the restaurant.
We know what I think it is. Also, you know, and I'm a person that, you know, I'm a patron of these bars, but I think most of us, we do that to each other. And when I go on the other side of town, in midtown and whatnot, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Let's keep it all the way up.
I think y'all can choose what y'all want to pay.
Fees are in these ethnic establishments.
Absolutely, I
It is
agree.
what it is.
I disagree. It's not just an ethnic establishment.
It's more prevalent.
Right.
Do you go
It's in your
to
face.
Grace's on the
Yes.
weekend on brunch time?
Yes.
Do you pay that?
I mean, but the service.
It's not it's not urban.
But I feel like the service everywhere else, when it comes to black-owned places, I feel like people forget service. I feel like I go in there, you got an attitude, you mad about something, nothing to do with you have to speak to a manager, that's like an attitude, y'all don't care for my business, so why am I going to keep putting, I know a lot of people that are black, and I hate to say it, that don't even like supporting black business because of the attitude that we get or give to each other instead of just being accommodating, like, hey, this was wrong, okay, let me take it back. A lot of people don't like sending food back because they're going to spend on it. I don't want to spend on
And I love black businesses. It's just the business side. I think it's shady business.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it depends.
All right, we'll be back. We got one more minute with you guys. Stay with us. I say go home. You came there.
And they couldn't find the camera. Was that it? Or they need to, okay, it's okay.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Really quick, Denise, I want to ask you about all of these fees that are tacked on. Now, I have a problem with this. Say, for example, a kitchen fee or boiling crawfish fee. All of these things are tacked on that you would think would be customary.
Those are fees that you don't have to pay. Like,
so you just make it known, I don't want to pay that.
Yeah, I mean,
that ain't reality.
It's not reality, but
it ain't reality. And why would they put it on there in the first place? Like I said, you being stuck between a rock and a hard place, you out on a date, or you with your family, y'all all there together, you're not going to want to be spending a good portion of the night, bickering with the bill or bickering over the bill or with the staff or with the management. First of all, it take a while to even get the owner and shit like that. So you're not going to be, looking like that, you know what I'm saying? So why even put it on there, right? They know they're gonna put it on there, and you probably ain't gonna argue about it. When you take your car to a lot of auto places, they put fees on there that they figure you're not gonna bicker with, right? So you gotta be, if you like me, shit, I argue about everything. People call me cheap, but hell, I'm gonna argue about every motherfucking thing.
If you're a consumer and you're visiting and your complaint is, I'm tired of paying all these fees or I'm tired of being nickel and dime, don't let them nickel and dime you. I mean, they put it on menus. Most menus do say, hey, there is a 20% service charge or there is a 20% service charge for 6 or more people. They let it be known before you ever, continue ordering anything from the restaurant. But there are some fees that just don't make sense, and I think that's where consumers get frustrated. That's when they have all that.
Can restaurants survive without doing that?
I think people need to understand when these fees started to come about. It came about after COVID because people were trying to survive. They were trying to balance.
Right.
And then a lot of shit came about during COVID. That's over now. So, to keep doing it, don't make no sense.
I mean, it is, but it isn't. Some people been in the business for 20 years and they're having to close their doors. So some people that are behind the curveball on charging the service charges and the gratuity, they're now charging service charges and gratuity just to see if they can stay alive.
Now my fees is more than what I actually got.
I might as well cook at home.
Right. They got me Googling stuff. I was trying to show Chef Boyardee.
No, you get a batch of fries for $6, which in taxes is $10. It's like, what is it?
That's crazy. It's not right.
It's a double sword. It's a catch-22 for everybody. Do you enjoy going out and being service, and are you willing to pay that, or do you go to the grocery store and cook for yourself? At this point in time, in the economy we're in, it all equals the same.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. And over the last 3 years, 100 restaurants in Houston.
Much respect to that sister. She trying to defend the bullshit, and obviously she probably a businesswoman and has a establishment of her own. And, I can understand that side of it. But, yeah, going out, could cost you, it's not about what it costs. It's about the put upon fees that they just add for no damn reason. So, turning into a chef and learning how to cook at home and having parties and gatherings at your place is usually the best thing to do. I've been doing that for a long time. Just because it's more fun. Y'all not pushed and rushed to leave your own place. You know what I'm saying? You have to worry about, going and talking to management about, fees and service and all of that. Anyway, that just caught my attention on the timeline. I wanted to say a couple of words on that because, my wife and I went through that recently when we did go out, for a celebration, and it was hell, it was like shit. The bill was like, I don't know, the total was like $500-$600, but shit, we only got $300 of food. It was like $100-something in added gratuity and fees and shit. So, but like she said, man, if you it's your choice. If you don't want to, go out and pay the fees, don't go. But it's an interesting conversation. If you ever had experience like that, let me know. Put it in the comments. Share your experience, and that's all.